I will show this video. FundHER World Capital is revolutionizing funding for women-owned and women-led businesses with investments. So we're going to be having another conversation as part of our Relevant Talk Money series, and we're going to be talking about investing in this video. Guys, excited? So investing is one of my favorite things to do, and it's also a topic that I think is really important to talk about more often, especially as women. There's a number of reasons why. So as you're probably aware, working in HR and just being female, that there is that gender wage gap and we fall way below the average because we're minorities and women of color, right? And that number is even much more depressing, and as a result of not earning enough. There is also the investment gap because we're not earning as much as our male counterparts, which also means that we're not investing as much, but we're not investing at all. And investing is how we grow our money, right? So knowing that we live longer than men on average, knowing that many of us will take time off from work temporarily or permanently to raise children, knowing that as women we're just the biggest givers at the expense of self, right? It's really important that we have a plan to grow our money, and that's why I'm so passionate about investing. So I want to start off by asking you guys, are you investing, and how? I got into investing. One of my coworkers at work was just like, "You need to start investing now." And I'm like, "Yeah, I don't have the money." I'm not little did I know that I just needed $1,000 to start back then. Right now, you don't need as much. But I remember I was babysitting for a family, and the father, who was director of investments at a bank, helped me open up an investment account, a brokerage account with Vanguard. And I've been investing my money for the last 6 years now, and I've seen my money grow. So I'm really big advocate on teaching women of color, especially how to invest, that you don't need a lot to just start and start early. So I started 401k late, and when I did that, because of that, I made it a point to always try to get to the maximum each year, just because I'm playing catch up. Investment is not something that we talked about growing up, it's just our retirement plan. If you have kids, that is what I grew up on. Your kids, your future trades as well. But I have quickly caught on to the fact that that doesn't always work. So I do 401k, and then Bullet told me about IRA, and I started doing that when I left the job and I had all the 401k money. And I read about how if you move your money from 401k to IRA, it opens up just your investment options so you're not stuck to what the employer is offering. So I've been putting my money in our area as well, matching that as well, and then just also have like money market. So I have just been putting money in there, and for the next step for us, we are now exploring real estate investment and just putting money away for businesses, etc. But it's really important, and I'm feeling more prepared for retirement. Even though I started late, it's never too late to start. I'm seeing that my investment stories. It's crazy. So early on in our career, bulls like, "Carl, you need to put your full 6% into this 401k." And I was a free man. I was like, okay. So me and Bola has been like accountability partners growing through our career, right? And we're like, playoff debt together. And all this stuff. She's like, put your money in 401. So I'm like, okay. So I made money in 401. Left the company, opened my own business, used the 401 to do that. So I drained the pot. So investing is like a love-hate relationship for me, right? But a couple of years ago, and I made a lot of money mistakes. A lot. So don't repeat me, but learn from me. We've all made those mistakes. We're going to talk about those later. After I kind of got background in my career and I started to be more confident and getting salary increases, I decided one day that I wanted to buy a house. Literally in October of that year, I was like, I'm buying a house. So I didn't have money saved up. I had debt and I was like, I'm buying a house. Right. How are you going to do that? Chakra. I had tried to buy property before, but I was scared. Like, I went to look at homes and I always wanted to do real estate investment, but I was like, oh my God, I'm going to have to pay this money monthly. I was just scared that I was going to lose my job and would never be able to find a job ever again. Right. And lose the house. I don't know why I closed on my investment property, which is a 3-family unit in a really nice neighborhood, and I didn't have no money to fix that joker up. But I bought the house and I closed that February. And I'm abuse when it comes to certain things. I'm like, if I'm going to do this, it needs to happen. This is my 5th year of owning it, and I'm going to eventually move out to something else and do a little bit more real estate investments. So that is something I'm doing. I also opened a brokerage account for me and my son. And I also invested in life insurance policies as well because I feel like your pack and your portfolio needs to be well rounded. Different things can happen. So I'm not great at trading stock, but I do have an app that I use and I put a little money in it and I'm watching some stocks and buying a percentage of a share just so I could get my feet wet. But I think the brokerage account keeps me safe because there's a financial person managing it for me and I can ask questions. That's good. Yes. So right now, I have a decent portfolio of my multifamily unit. Some investments in my brokerage account. I have my 401k going again. And then I'm hoping to actually go into more real estate investments in the near future. That's great. I'll tell you how I'm investing. So me and my husband invest together and we invest in the stock market index funds. We invest for our kids. I've had some experience just investing in real estate that I came out of with a lot of lessons learned. Let's leave it at that. But we're going to be dabbling into real estate investing again and in business. So my business is an investment and we've also started investing in other people's businesses as a way to diversify our portfolio, like you mentioned. And you're talking about the 401k, which is your employer's retirement account. Either a 401k or 4 or 3b, whatever. There are different options. It's usually someone's first introduction to investing. It was mine. Like everybody knows, most people who know Chevrolet Finance, who know me as the founder, know my $100,000 savings story. And that started with that 401k. And Shaka was there at the beginning of what is this thing? Oh, my God. Free money. Oh, my God. We got to sign up. She was there for all of that. I would drive her crazy. I was like preaching all over the place. They should have fired you from her own employers. Retirement plan is really sometimes the first pace that somebody has in investing. I think it is a great opportunity to start to put money aside because as women and just given the economy we live in, first of all, pensions. You guys probably don't have pensions. First of all, Social Security is probably going to be like a blip of a paycheck. If you do get it and there's nobody else that's waiting for you, that at the end of 30 years going to be like, you know what, girl, while you were living your best life traveling, all that stuff, I was right here and I was building this for you. Here's the national beach, Bartle Champagne. Here's a yacht in the Mediterranean. No one is doing that for you. So we have to do it for ourselves. And also think about the fact that as women, many of us are choosing not to get married because we live longer than men. Many women lose thousands. Unfortunately, women go through divorce. There's lots of reasons why we need to have our own money. We are breadwinners. Sometimes we're sole household earners, single moms. And the one way that we can make sure that we grow our money is by investing it. So that's so important. So I know that when it comes to investing, there's a lot of fear around it. Yeah. So what about your fears around investing? That I'm going to lose everything because I am putting a good chunk and I see my money grow, and there's this fear like, well, when I talk to my girlfriends about it, they're like, well, what if the market crash? You're going to lose everything, and I'm going to laugh. But if the market crashes, right, your portfolio is the least of your problems about how to get the hell out of the door. Dodge where the bomb drops. Honestly, if the software crashes, we have bigger issues, right?